National Golf Club. Don't miss this very special evening when the Showjumping Hall of Fame honors the history of our sport. This year's inductees are Lee McKeever and Leslie Howard's Olympic Mount Albany. Receiving the Hall of Fame's International Award will be Irish Olympian Kevin Babington. It's Sunday evening, March 1st, at Wellington National Golf Club. Order your tickets today at showjumpinghalloffame.net.
In a world where power shifts rapidly, strategy shapes the future. Strict global diplomacy, led by Robert Strick, steps in when crises erupt, markets shift, and negotiations stall. With expertise in high-stakes mediation and global diplomacy, we give global leaders the decisive edge. In uncertain times, the world's most influential turn to us. With precision access and unwavering strategy, we solve conflicts, strengthen businesses, and secure the future. Strict global diplomacy, moving the world forward.
Yo. Hey.
Today's world is not the world our children will inherit, for it is changing faster than ever before. We help students prepare for a future that is indefinable. Because we believe an education must go beyond books, bricks and mortar, we're creating the best schools in the world, so our students graduate world-wise.
Welcome to the Winter Equestrian Festival. Every year, Wellington Regional Medical Center proudly celebrates the return of the equestrian season to our community. We're honored to once again be the official emergency medical center of the 2025-2026 Winter Equestrian Festival. For more than 40 years, Wellington Regional Medical Center has delivered exceptional care to Palm Beach County residents. Guided by our high reliability journey, we put safety first in everything we do. Excellence isn't just our goal, it's how we treat our patients and each other every day. Through advanced technology, expanded services, and compassionate care, we remain committed to providing care you can count on. We're looking forward to another great season.
It's a lot to take care of something as cool as a horse. So 3-day eventing is like a triathlon for horses. I'm counting the rhythm of the horse. If I move my seat in a certain way, they know the signals. We do ask a lot of them physically. I love to stand my horses in ice water. It makes all the blood move while taking inflammation out.
Well, a very good morning and welcome to another gorgeous day here in Wellington. And it is our five-star class of the day, $62,500 Bainbridge five-star, 1.50 m speed, in the sense that it is a one-round competition. What about 46 to go in our class here. Time allowed of 74 seconds. And also acts towards a qualifier for the Modon Grand Prix as well. We saw 30 come through the qualifier yesterday. And then our remaining group will come from today's top 10 as well. And then referring back to we have our 40 for Saturday night as well. Just a reminder of yesterday's Adequan qualifier, the Grand Prix qualifier, the Challenge Cup. Dara Kenny, winner of that with Eddie Blue. Bertram Allen, in fact, it was an Irish 1-2 with Conquest de Rigo finishing second and Charlotte Jacobs in third with Playboy. We're starting off today with René Dittmer of Germany. And this is a combination that could be well suited to this. It is Cody 139, Holsteiner Gelding by Kasalask for René of Germany. To start off our first of 47 over the course designed by Antti D'Ambrosio. And alongside him, Andy Christensen. He's building our 2 stars and assistant this week. Chrome Horse Plank, again, different type of course yesterday, and he's put a really interesting final group of fences here for them to really chase down a time if that's the aim of the day. But you'd hope so with a $62,500 class, but starting with a nice smooth round from René. Again, it's going to be all about balance on the turns here. Back to the Buckeye Nutrition fence. Nice move up to the Modon fence. Should come up fairly nicely on a good standard stride distance down there into the triple combination. And again, as though it says speed, it's a balance of a one-round jumping class. And then I say this final last few fences here gives you a real chance to just dare a little back to the plank. And then final fence here at 12. René Dittmer going to start us on a good target here at 65.84 for René. And Cody as the first to go. So nice start, some really efficient turns around there. And, well, good one to get us going. Charlotte Jacobs now for North Star, the US rider. Like I say, was top 3 yesterday with Playboy. Well, she rode through winning Nations Cup squad here last year as well. Thomas Court, Bally Patrick, the Irish bred gelding by Bellure de Ray. Again, on to teams last season. Took a little bit of a break at the start of the year now. Off and flying with a fantastic string of horses again for Charlotte. And we'll see how this class starts to shape up. First few fences, a little bit more distance for the first 3 as it opens up right across the arena. The Chrome Horse Plank again, just taking that a little bit more on the angle there. Should take them 6 into this Bainbridge double. Roll back here to the vertical at 7. Distance is coming up nicely, but just has had the one rail so far for Charlotte. Like I say, in good qualifying position though yesterday. In fact, being third in there, she will go third from last in the Grand Prix on Saturday night. A couple of combinations in here are going to be in with 2 horses as well into this Bainbridge class. Coming home on the 4, time of 70.51. Comparing that to René Dittmer's 65.84. He was very efficient early on. Rail for her just backs off a little bit for Charlotte to close out the round. So still good round though, just on the 4. And Jordan Coyle now, King Canaan GP for the Alan Farm. We'll see what today brings for the Irishman. Gelding by Canaan for Jordan. Might be a class well up his street, we will see. Looks a fairly determined start from them. It's a little bit on the angle, looks like the 7 down there to the Chrome Horse, gets around the island to the Southern Arch is tight enough. A little tickle through the Bainbridge double. Just getting out of the corner, just got a little bit stuck coming out of there. Cost them a fence. And I think he might, well, we'll see what he's going to do. Back round and through to the triple combination. Jordan yesterday a little bit further down the order as well with 4 gold. Actually, he's got 4 gold to come up in this class a little later on as well, which would really potentially be the horse that may well be suited to taking a good shot at this. Jordan with giving them a good shot at the last there. So it is going to be 16 plus time, 91.12 for Jordan Coyle and King Canaan GP. Shows an early good start for Rennie Dittmer at 65.84. Ben Mayer now, first of 2 for Ben. And this one, first up, will be Maddox. Gelding by Montbellini for the world number 3. Potentially 2 rides for him as well. This and by Charlotte Roster and Pamela Wright as well. As Corlander, I think, down to come a little later on as well. Yeah, due to go 31st as it stands. Ben, who had a very good start for a top 3 finish in our opening 5-star Grand Prix a couple of weeks ago for the Fidelity Grand Prix. Maddox, the 9-year-old here, so a little less experienced horse. Again, he's using this class very effectively to start bringing on his next Grand Prix rides as well, one imagines. There's a little bit more space back there, but gets a good shot back to the Oxer. I'd say just a little less experienced horse than, say, Rennie Dittmer's 11-year-old that's always been our trailblazer round. Nice try through the triple combination now to the final few. 65.84 leading time. Has just kept moving on really nicely around here. Ben's got a good shot at going in front here. It's going to be close between them. Takes a good run at the last. It might just be a fraction beyond the leading time, 66.33, but a good round nonetheless from Ben Mayer. And Maddox to go into an early 2nd spot for the British World number 3. So Rennie Dittmer keeps the lead, 65.84. Mimi Gotchman now of the US. Mimi Snow Sport Horses, Lumiere BH. Is the 10-year-old for the 21-year-old. Not only wins here, but World Cup winner in Ocala last week as well. Comes in strong. She's been on the podium here before now in the 5-star Grand Prix as well, despite only 21 years of age. That's a lovely smooth shot at the plank there, and again, just keeping the smoothness in the round will help keep the pace up. Just dropping into a really nice gear is the aim around here. If you watch someone like Richie Vogel go around in the real speed classes where he's taking a shot of it, just drops into a really nice groove around the course. just catches at the end. I was just going to say, it comes out of there in 46, which might be a little indicator for later on. And so it takes him to 65.38. So it is a very good time because it actually is a little bit quicker than René Dittmer. So taking a spot of having jumped out of that triple combination in 46 is a good indicator overall. Just drops, unfortunately, 2 fences on the way. 65.38 for Mimi Goshman and Lumiere BH. So shows the time is a beatable time from René Dittmer. And again, he put a very nice smooth round here, but someone's really going all guns at it. I think they can probably get ahead of that. Natalie Dean, we'll see, the 26-year-old now, with a Coterem. It's been a well-established top 5-star horse as well, bringing this horse back into action, the mare by Toulon for Natalie and the Marigold Sport horses. Natalie having already again through her 20s been part of the big teams for the US, including in Aachen, winning teams here in Wellington before now as well. It's a little bit of a straighter shot there at the Chrome Horse plank. Takes a little bit of a wider run here, and again for Natalie, again it's all about their aim for the day. Some of them bringing horses back after a little bit of a break. Or whether it's a run ahead of Saturday's big outing. Clean round from Natalie so far as she heads to the last. And it's just going to be a little over the time allowed there. Yeah, 2 for time, 75.90. Like I say, taking a little bit of a longer spin with a Coterem that's been just starting back really into the big competitions the last few weeks. Of course, Natalie was out in Abu Dhabi as well for the League of Nations there. But a Coter that's taken a break since midway through last year now, just coming back into the big time. A pair that done very well in the Grand Prix here. Like I say, it was the same ride that she had through Aachen. Tanaka-Rotkin, Cardozo 4. For the Castlewood Farm now, for the Westphalian Gelding by Colestus. Colestus that was ridden by Ludger Beerbaum. Seeing Ludger in action back in Germany on Checker yesterday as well. The horse that has been the twice winner of the Grand Prix here with Christian Kukuk. Just rolls on forward through that Bainbridge double, just drops a rail there. So on the 4-2, René Dittmer will keep the lead at the moment. 2 combinations gone with the 0 in this one rounder so far. René Dittmer, the swifter at 65.84. Careful at the plank, just final fence to go for them. Brings them home on the 8, and 69.33 from Tanaka-Rotkin, and Cardozo 4 will go a little further down into 6th place so far. Germany keeping the lead with René Dittmer, and they might keep the lead again yet because they send in Rishi Vogel now of Germany. This is Cardentos. New ride for him as well. 9-year-old stallion here by Cardento for Richie. Actually makes the step up here because has been doing 140, 145. Literally, this is about their 5th or 6th round together, certainly under the FEI banner. So a newer combination for Richie out here in the States. First of 2 rides for him. He'll be along with Comet a little later on as well. European champion, the winner of our first 5-star Grand Prix of the season, the Fidelity Grand Prix 2 weeks ago. Like I say, for Richie, just gets a nice shot off the turn, just gets good energy down to that line and out of the Bainbridge. He's keeping them in a good, comfortable pace so far. Just really starting to see what the pair can do. Horses with Alexandrovit of Sweden to start off. That was a couple of seasons ago now. Coming home, and it's going to be a very tidy round because it's 63 seconds. So he is quicker. Richie Vogel to go into the lead with Cardentos. A little what I said earlier on, and he wasn't really getting into a full-on chasing groove around there, but a lovely smooth groove around the course. And will dance the way into leading spot, 63 seconds for Richie Vogel and Cardentos. Early run here. 8ths of 47 in total in our class here this morning. Juan Manuel Gallego now, Spain. Pablo Maya, Equestrians, Lloyd. The Dutch bred gelding by Namalassar. So new pace set by Richie Vogel at 63 seconds. Just on the 4 for Juan Manuel so far. Just a little touch going into the triple combination. You can see a little bit steady there in terms of time, like Mimi Gotchman was out of there in 46th. Richie a fraction up on that as well, coming out of that triple. And then this last line where they can really cut it if they're really going to chase the time down. So leaves them in 6th place, 73.01 for Juan Manuel Gallego and Lloyd. So from Spain, we'll go to Brazil. Eduardo de Menezes, winner on day 1. With the H5 Sport Horses, H5 Contador. In fact, Christian Cook going to move up in the order. He's got 2 in this class. So Christian going to go ahead of that. Vicky Van Gogh to go now for Christian. Mare by Van Gogh as well. For the world number 5. Christian building a new string of horses up here this year as well. Some new combinations out he's been building over the last few weeks. Jumping as well, Fantasia yesterday. Vicky Van Gogh that's been jumping some of the 4 stars and starting to build up. He also has Just Be Gentle here, which is his all ready to go 5-star Grand Prix ride. Like I say, moved off as he was setting up on his own, moved away from the Beerbaum stable. So Checker has stayed where he is with the Beerbaum team. Now the Olympic champion looking to the future of the new combinations together. It's a little bit steady out of there at 48 seconds. Leading time 63 at the moment, but again, it's not going to be too far away. It's going to be a little bit back from the leading time, but it's going to be a good start for them. There we go, 66.98. For the pairing they've been building throughout last year as well. Just starting to get into the 5 stars at the end of last year, including in Brussels, in the support classes there. So they go into 4th place at the moment. Richie Vogel in front, 63 seconds. Now to Eduardo de Menezes of Brazil, the H5 Sport Horses. H5 Contador VDM by Eldorado. Winner on day 1. So how much he will chase this down. Looks a little steady and polite early on. Gets a nice tighter shot up there. They can just come a little bit on the inside line, but it's a little wide around the southern arches. Just looking to come a little bit efficient into that triple combination. Comes out of there in 47, so is not too far away. But maybe a second or two back from Richie Vogel. We'll see, 63 seconds. Nine to the last on the bend there, leaves them not too far away, but it is going to be ticking away with a time that will just put them off that of Richie Vogel, confirmed at 64.61. They'll go into second so far for Eduardo de Menezes and H5 Contador VDM. Another very nice round from them as they get ahead of René Dittmer and Cody. So Germany still at the top there with Richie Vogel at 63, second and a half ahead. To Shane Sweetnam of Ireland. He's out in the Seabrooks. Pia Maria H, the mare by Casanova. Another new face on the block in the classes here for the Sweetnam team. Chain jumping James Cruise a little earlier on this week, so high potential. I'd imagine that that will be his Grand Prix shot. Shane already with a Grand Prix win out on the grass this season, but there's a new ride for him. But it came from Rodrigo Enriquez of Mexico. It's their first international run here in Wellington. Had an outing in Ocala already through the 2-star. Again, not much of a touch coming out of the triple combination, but it'll come down. Just getting the control on the turn back gives himself a little bit more space there to do that back to the plank. And we'll come home on just the 4. 70.54. It's into 8th place so far for Shane Sweetnam and Pia Maria H. So from Shane Sweetnam to yesterday's qualifying winner, Dara Kenny and Elena Haas's Colibel Hero. By Comme Il Faut. with the win on the cards yesterday in that Adequan Challenge Cup. Got a second ride to come later with Cosmos BH, normally the ride of Mimi Gotchman as well. Certainly trying, lands out of there in 45, so he's going to be in touch. There we go, good round, but it is going to be on 4:62.82, so time was quicker into 7th for Dara Kenny. So Dara dropping down into 7th place with just that one. Giving it a very good try, but the plank there just costing them in the end. And again, it's just there today how much you turn up to that. Alex Matz and Didi Matz is Clarimo, the gelding by Comme il faut plus. Goes back to Comme il faut for the 29-year-olds. Again, for Alex 1, this is starting to move up. The 9-year-old Clarimo for Alex. Just also in this similar class, back onto the first of our 5 stars as well. Been with Alex since October last year, was previously with Giampiero Garofalo of Italy. For Alex, this their second 5-star, again, being a 9-year-old, early stages of the season. Just holding to set them up into this triple combination. A little bit steadier on the clock, but again, just really getting the aim of getting a good round under their belt. See where they finish, just gets a little bit of width there to get them back on a nice curve back to this last fence. Just going to catch it though as they go. Time is going to be pretty good, 66.24. So it was amongst the top 5 pack, but unfortunately just one fence down puts them down into 8ths on 4 faults there for Alex Matz and Clarimo. Adrian Sternlick next for the Starlight Farms of Greenwich, Connecticut. This is Los Angeles. Los Angeles de la Sens by Los Angeles. The rider was the winner in Ottawa last season, the 5-star Grand Prix there. Winner here in this arena before now as well for the World Championship rider. Starts off with Purpose and Spring. Little touch at the mode on fence. Just leaves them a little bit wider coming back. Got a little bit of ground to make up now if they're going to take a shot at the leading time. Gets well out into the corner, get back to this. That's 4-stride distance down to the Oxer. And catches the middle part of the triple combination for Adrian. Coming home on the 4. Here's Richie Vogel in front. Adrian Sternlick going into 11th place so far. Meantime, Stephanie Mosiera of Brazil. Kent Elevant, Merrill's Nest for the mare by Canaan for the Bonchance Farm. So top few so far, Rishi Vogel leads at 63 seconds. Eduardo de Menezes, also Brazilian, second at 64.61. René Dittmer in third was our lead-off round at 65.84. It's definitely taking a longer swing back at that turn. Coming out of here in the 50s, so a little bit steadier. On the 4 as well, sits back for this Oxer. And we'll leave them home on the 4. Going to be just maybe inside the time allowed. Yep, 72.47. Time allowed of 74 in the $62,500 Bainbridge Company's one rounder here this morning in Wellington. Takes her further down into 11th place with one down. Mark Blumen now. Mark with Felina de Septon. Horse from Mario Delorier. More than capable of being a fast winner here as well. We'll see. Got a good pace into the double so far. That finished well in the Classic, actually second in this class a couple of weeks ago. It was also being ridden by René Dittmer at one point last year as well. Just going to catch that. Time-wise, right up there with the leaders. Leading time is 63 seconds, so he was going to be close, 63.28. And had that fence stayed there, may have just squeaked it, who knows. But it is just one down, full faults there at the blue and white. For Mark Blumen chasing there, that final line. Again, just really good designing. Give you the opportunity to just squeeze a little more if you wish. Thomas Joffre of Argentina now. The Stellium Sport horse is Kingston, gelding by Etoulon. Just coming quietly so far through our first few. What's best known with his partnership with Kedora, Kingston. The 11-year-old for Tommy here. Again, he's just making a step up this week. Has just been a fairly new partnership for them through last year. She also spent a little time with Bertram Allen in the season here in 2025 after Maximilian Lille of Germany. This is the first time they've moved into the 5-star, but jumped another several 4-star classes so far, so not dissimilar heights. So leaves them on 1 time fault, 74.81. That's making the step up there for Kingston and Thomas Joffre of Argentina. Amy Miller now. The Canadian Olympian riding Alenferd's Gaiety Dell is the French-bred mare by Vagabond de la Pomme. Amy and the Canadians also, no doubt, with an eye on next week with the Nations Cup, which is always a big one for Canada here as well. Just getting a nice round under their belt so far. They're in 50, so a little bit back from the leading time, but again, key is for them putting a nice jumping round together at the moment. Give the respect to the Buckeye plank, but just another to just catch it. Coming home on the 4 for Amy and brings her home at 69.38. Another one going into 11th place. Spot du jour at the moment. So they go into 11th for Amy Miller. Unchanged to the top, Rishi Vogel leading on 63 seconds. Eduardo de Menezes in second on 64.61. Rennie Dittmer in third, 65.84. Gabriel de Manos Machado now. For Brazil, the Bainbridge Equestrian's commander HKZ in commanding, leading, winning position just in the early stage of the season here as well for this 10-year-old stallion by Comme Il Faut. See if we can pick off another class. Already drops a rail, unfortunately gets a little bit deeper into the plank, a wider shot here back. That won in the Net Jets week here on this 10-year-old, but again, first time for them moving up into the 5-star ranks this week. But as I say, good solid 4-star form underneath. That's where this class is so good at filling the space between the qualifier, the Grand Prix, and the other supporting classes. Just on the 4. 73.29, just inside the time for Gabriel de Manos Machado and Commander HKZ. So Michael Duffy of Ireland now with Cantano 32. One from the HS Sportfed and Courtney Hobson from the works with the Helena Storman stable. Michael, highly accomplished rider, of already medalist 3 Europeans, very good producer of horses. Super 5-star form as well. Just bringing them very tidy and nicely through the first few fences so far. It's A little more energy going into that Bainbridge. Michael giving him a really lovely run of a building round for this pair. Not chasing the leading time, but just getting a really good, solid, smooth educational round underneath them. Going to pick up a little bit of time as well as they go, but not going to be worried too much about that. And there we go, mission accomplished. Like I say, they've all got their different aims for the day. 79.39, 6 for time for Michael Duffy and Cantano 32. Laura Kraut now. St Bride's Farms at Dorado. 2-1-2 for Laura, the world number 12. This is the horse that she was on to the success of a team gold at the Pan Am Games going back to 2023. Former winner of the Week 7, what's now the Modon Grand Prix as well. That was with Ballatinu, the horse that she rode to those Olympic medals in recent times. She's got a string of Olympic medals, but the team silvers through Tokyo and Paris. Again, has just come out quietly so far this season. Just jumped around the World Cup qualifier for just the 4 last week. See whether that's going to be, just unfortunately just a little move at the last, cost them a rail. Whether that's going to be Laura's ride in the Grand Prix, we will see. 67.91, and will drop a fence at the end, so just on the 4 puts them into 11th place. Still keeps Richie Vogel at the top on 63 seconds. Eduardo de Menezes on 64.61 in second. Ronnie Dittmer in third on 65.84. Zoe Hank-Conter there, and the Stefex Tables Melody K. There by Kornet Obolensky for Zoe. A good week for her last week as well. Nice roll back here. She finished second in the Grand Prix last week with Tombola. Just to come back to that. Nice, well-established partnership there that had a bit of a break at the end of last year and competed through to October now, just coming back into action through the 4 stars. First 5-star for them this season. She was on literal home ground in Brussels with this horse last year at the Stefex Masters in the Rolex Series. Just short across that final fence as well. Total of 12, 70.72. Like I say, just starting to move back up the ranks with Melody K for Zoe. I think that will complete our first half of the $62,500 Bainbridge 5-star. We'll take a little bit of a breather and back with our second half. And that means we've still got 20 or so to go in the class. Just a reminder, still got a few faces making returns here. I'd flag up Nicola Philipparts and Derby de Riverland, who might well be suited to this. Rishi Vogel, Comet is going to be his second ride a little later. Dara Kenny back with Cosmos BH. McLean Ward, Snapchat towards the final few. Nina Malavey will be in the final three. Destiny DeBee and Tom Watchman with Hawaii. Horse he won in Le Ball last year. Will be our last to go as well. Christian Kukuk, Ben Mayer, Stella Wasserman, Erin Ballard, all on that remaining group yet. We'll be back underway with Jordan Coyle in probably around 10 minutes' time in this $62,500 Bainbridge 5-star. Led so far by Richie Vogel and Cardentos on 63 seconds.
Bainbridge is a fully integrated multifamily real estate company who have developed and acquired more than 43,000 units, representing $8.5 billion in transactions since inception. With over 650 associates nationally, Bainbridge engages in virtually every step of the real estate process, from development and construction, acquisition and disposition, asset management, and third-party management of multifamily real estate. Bainbridge is an award-winning, nationally ranked developer, owner, and builder of luxury multifamily communities across the eastern U.S. and Southeast. Our team of experienced and knowledgeable professionals is devoted to creating exceptional living experiences for all of our residents and building lasting and mutually beneficial relationships with our partners and clients. Bainbridge is headquartered in Wellington, Florida, with offices and apartment communities across Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, Texas, Virginia, and Maryland. As we continue to grow, we are actively expanding our footprint across the Midwest, Southeast, and Mid-Atlantic markets. To learn more, visit www.bainbridgecompanies.com.
NetJets is more. And with NetJets, you get more. More exceptional service. Heightened safety standards. And anytime access to where you're needed most. Do more and miss less. with NetJets.
Getting back underway here in Wellington, the $62,500 Bainbridge 5-star, led so far by Richie Vogel and Cardentos on 63 seconds. This is one that could shape this up. In fact, he was the winner of this same class in recent weeks as well. That was with his earlier ride, actually, of King Canaan GP. But for gold now for the Falkirk Farm, and Jordan Coyle of Ireland is one here that could certainly take a good shot at this. They were going very well in similar classes in Ocala last week, and now back and firing here in Wellington as well. But have had a string of wins and had an amazing run through that of Spruce Meadows last summer. He also then headed over to Europe. Actually won a good class at Hickstead as well. Nice, tight, tidy start. Just doesn't get across the Oxer there at 3. So Richie Vogel breathes a little sigh of relief. This could have been one of the big contenders in there as well. Like I said before the break, strong group coming up. We've got everyone from Christian Kukuk, Ben Mayer. We've got 5 of the world's top 10 with us this week. Richie Vogel there, the world number 6. Then further down, world number 10, McLean Ward. World number 8, Nina Malave, goes in the final 3. 2 rides coming up for Eugenio Garza, and last to go will be the London Grand Prix winner in Tom Watchman. The horse that he won in La Ball with Hawaii. Now it takes a circle there, so just not quite coming together today, but it has done plenty of times before. Not to be underestimated, this pair, but sensibly takes a circle, gets a better shot at the last there. So 12 jumping, 15 time. So Erin Ballard. In fact, we're moving on to, so actually looks like a couple of, she's either moving up or a couple of withdrawals. Epsilon de Brunil for Erin, for again for the Elan Further stable. Just catching a rail on the 4 for Erin. So finishing on 8. 61.84, so time was a very good time because it was faster than that of our leader Richie Vogel and Cardentos. They were on 63 seconds, but takes 2 fences with them, so it is 8 there for Erin Ballard and Epsilon du Brenil. Looks like we're going to Stella Wasserman, so I say looks like a couple of withdrawals. We were expecting to see Luis Fernando Rathbal on the first ride of Eugenio Garza as well. So I think Eugenio just going to come up with the 1 ride later on with Contago to give that wonderful grey an outing. And Luis Fernando Rathbal actually looks like he might be coming a little later for which and whatever reason. So Stella Wasserman and play. Gelding by Luidam for Stella. She's built this partnership over the last couple of years now. Trains with McLean Ward. We saw this horse initially here with Jess Mendoza, but that's been a few seasons behind us now. Two parts, the triple combination will rise the score to 8. But again, this has been the horse that she's been really jumping in the Grand Prix as well. Confident shot at the last, leaves them on 8 at 67.42 for Stella Wasserman and play. So leaves the way clear, still with Rishi Vogel at the top. Tanaka Rotkin's second ride now. For the 24-year-old, this is the JD Legacy's Hermès d'Armenville. By Candy for Tanner. This horse actually jumped in the U25 series here in the teams a few weeks ago. Very new ride for him. Came from, was ridden by Irish riders with Ivan Dalton and Kern Williams previous to this. This 9-year-old getting their first outing at this level with Tanner here this week. He started the season well with a second place in one of our early Grand Prix as well. So just on the 469.93. So unchanged at the top. Christian Kukuk going with the second ride now in Akkurat Tivoli Z for the world's number 5. Like I said a little earlier, Christian developing a new string out this week in the weeks here in Wellington. This middle part of that triple combination. Finished nicely in the 2-star Grand Prix with this horse in the last week. Again, has just been building this one up. So she jumped last year with Bertram Allen, and only 2 stars so far for this. So it's a good step up for them. 72.51 for the 10-year-old Akkurat Tivoli Z in the hands of Christian Kukuk this time. To Ben Mayer and Charlotte Roster and Pamela Wright's call out of the stallion by Cornet Colbert for the world number 3. Second ride for Ben in this class. Pair that went yesterday didn't have the round they wanted, so hopefully back on track today with this. No reason why not. Again, that pairing that had just taken a bit of a break since the end of last season and competing out in Washington, and just starting back in the classes 2 weeks ago. Just catches. I think there must be the mode-on fence down there, just on the 4. Coming home on the 4, and yep, back in the groove, just on the 4-foot 69.38 there for Ben Mayer. The score of 4th, I think, which is the Buckeye fence down there, just out of view, and so they go into 12th place for Ben. To Carlos Sancarero now of Mexico, and the H5 Sport Horses H5 K's Pleasure Hero Z. Grand Prix winner here in Wellington last year as well. Had 2 good Grand Prix wins behind him in Florida. Last season he's really started to move up. 1 point was heading up the U25 rankings as well, having already been on the Mexican squad for championships. So now becoming a steady part of the Mexican team. But again, for him, it's 4 already. Again, been shared with, like, stablemate, teammate Eduardo de Menezes in terms of rides. Just moving up now, this 10-year-old into the 5 stars. Came well through the 2s and 3s with both riders in the last few seasons. On 4, 71.99 for there for Carlos Sancarero, and H5 K's Pleasure Hero Z. Richie Vogel keeps the lead. Eduardo de Menezes, as I was just mentioning, is in 2nd so far with H5 Contador VDM for the same H5 team. René Dittmer in 3rd, was the first off today. Cody 139 currently in 3rd. And there he is. Eduardo de Menezes returns for a 2nd ride. The Brazilian this time for the H5 Sport Horses. H5 Nocando is the mare by Comilfo, is the now 11-year-old for the Hank family. 64-61 from his first spin around here. Looking for his 2nd win of the week. Nice balanced run between the first couple of fences. Say there's a bit more space with the first few fences to get a good pace going. Then this is the first real smart turn where your real balance and work at home starts to come into play. That flat work. A reminder, we'll be bringing you dressage as well tonight, the World Cup, with Isabel Werth, who won the Grand Prix yesterday. German, five-time Olympic gold medalist. In action here in Wellington as well. Comes out of there in 55, so a little bit steady around here again from Eduardo this time around. So currently in second with his earlier shot, but it's very nicely around so far. He's going to probably have a little bit of time here too. I don't think that's going to cause him to sweat at all. It is going to be a total of 5. Nice round there with H5 Nocando for Eduardo de Menezes on 78.15. Nicola Philipparts. This one might make a couple sweat. Richie Vogel notably at 63 seconds. This is Derby de Riverland for the Belgian European gold medalist. Derby now 13 years of age. Is gelding by Canaan, and this is where they can really clean up if they're on form. This should give Richie Vogel a little bit of a shake maybe at the top. We'll see. First is leave them all in the cups. Again, you can see just already coming on a little bit more determined pace. Gets the inside line here up to the Chrome Horse and leaves them on the angle at the plank tight around the Southern Arches Island. Just has to respect this double a little bit more. Just has to wait. Okay. Oh, I was just trying to squeeze it in there on the right, and it just ran out of space in the end. So Richie Vogel will stay at the top. Nicola Philipparts, be very interested to see his time, is going to be 63.48. So it would have been a little back, but again, maybe if he'd still got the fence up, all woulda, coulda, shoulda. But still goes into our top 10 there for Nicola Philipparts, giving it very good efforts with Derby de Riverland to go top 10. Key from here is our top 10 also going into the qualifying for the Grand Prix. That's been important for the likes of Ben Mayer there with Maddox, Richie Vogel, Cardentos leading the pack so far. Stephanie Maciera now for Brazil onto her second ride. HFB Surowski. Still Richie Vogel left to come. Good group, Derek Kenny, McLean Ward, Bliss here is back in the action with Goodbye as well. Nina Malave, Tom Watchman going to be last in this class. So still some good shots to be fired yet. Just doesn't get across the middle part. Another, so going to be midway in the field for this pair today. And bringing it home on 8 and 73.71, so just in time, side the time there for Stephanie Maciera and HFB Surowski. So leaves our top few unchanged. Top 10, by the way, Nicola Philipparts went into 10th player. Like I say, I talked a little bit about the qualifying there. Derek Kenny's in there. He obviously was winner yesterday, so that doesn't affect him too much. Mark Blumen, Thomas Joffre, Christian Kukuk, Ben Mayer, René Dittmer are going reverse order here. Second place at the moment, Eduardo de Menezes, and leading rider is Richie Vogel. Although in terms of numbers, I think all of our big names would be in regardless this week. For our 40, saying Richie Vogel, but that looks like Brian Canan to me. Oh, there's Richie Vogel just behind. So we'll pick up with Richie in a second with Comet 306. Now upbeat, up tempo, setting out to beat himself. Well, beat himself right now. He's still got a good few coming behind that yet, so you're not resting on your laurels. This is a good turn. As I say, I talked about Richie's efficiency around, of course, and watched several of his rounds from Spruce Meadows last year. You watch that as he cruises around the course. Just hits the right gear, stays in it. Just takes a little bit of a steady here to respect this triple combination. Comes out of, there in 43 and down it goes. He was thereabouts for time. Triple combination being part of the big jumping element of this, not just a straight out run for speed, but there 61.90 was faster than his own time, but just drops one fence on the 4 for Richie Vogel with his second ride there with Comet 306 taking a good shot at it. I've seen a few faster than Richie, but I mean, again, that's very easy to say because they had a fence down. Derek Kenny was one of those. And Erin Ballard, yeah, I remember she was 61.84, but she had 8. So it's all getting the 2. But Richie Vogel will stay in front regardless with earlier ride of Cordentus on the 63 seconds. Brian Canan now. US rider for the Glen Bay Farm with Arctic JTZ. Just around, what I think we're just under now, 10 left to go. Richie Vogel was looking to post a faster time there to put them under even more pressure, knowing he's still got Derek Kenny, Nal Nasser, McLean Ward, Nina Malave, Erin Ballard, another shot for her yet. All on the list. Brian's still on a clear round so far. A little bit steadier in terms of time. Lands out of there in 52. And just catches that. Bring them home on the 4. 71.60 for Captain Brian Canan and Arctic JTZ for just within our top 20. Should be heading in the direction of Nicky Walker now. The Canadian with Tute de Tremblay. She's off to a fast start. It's another pair not to be underestimated. Finished very well through the 4 stars here in preparation for this week as well. Being consistently top 10. They were top 5 in the... Well, she had a top 5 with a different ride in the World Cup on home ground in Toronto last season as well. Just scrambles a little in the middle there and throws them. So 2 down there for Nikki. And she's just looking to get the balance back there. I think she's probably going to come back to that fence. Yes, she is. Yeah, decides to retire before they get to the end, but gave a good shot early on, just unfortunately unraveling there in the triple combination, but by the tiniest fraction, not by much. Good effort there from Nikki Walker. It's just aiming to give them something to think about. Now that's next for the Evergate Stables. Christlyn Vende Bosran said is the 9-year-old by Carambol, the mare for Nael. Still coming along nicely so far for this pair that have been through the 3 stars so far this season. Again, just moving up a gear. 4-star early on. Former with ride with Brian Mulgray. Their stable rider too, Philip McGuane of Ireland, who's with the Evergate team. Coming home well on the clear. He's just giving them enough space. They'll just come home off the leading pace, but still with a good round under the belt. 73.05, good tick in the box for Christlyn van den Busranzed and Nael Nasser of Egypt. Dara Kenny due next. Yesterday's Grand Prix qualifier winner. Gotchman Sport Horses, so Mimi Gotchman and family's Cosmos BH. On 4 already, so Rishi Vogel will remain at the top. Tara off to a good start yesterday with Eddie Blue. And as a former 5-star Grand Prix winner here, will no doubt be a big one in the frame tomorrow night for that Modon Grand Prix. Home on 8. 72.72 for Derek Kenny and Cosmos BH. McLean Ward now. Susan Heller, the Beechwood Stables, and his own Snapchat. The gelding by Hunter Sendix for the world number 10. Just 6-7 to go yet. Richie Vogel in the lead. McLean might have a say about that. Unfortunately, that mode on fence looks as though that's dropped. Yep, just pulls that behind. So unfortunately on the 4. McLean on the 8 so far, so just gives them every chance here at the triple combination. Eight, it will be 71.08. 8 there for McLean Ward and Snapchat. Rishi Vogel, Eduardo de Menezes, and Rene Dittmer remaining the top 3 so far in this morning's Bainbridge $62,500 class. Gabriel de Mados Machado now for the Baywinds Equestrian, this time with It Girl. Second ride for Gabriel here. By George Zed. Still Bliss Here's Erin Ballard, Nina Malave, Eugenio Garza, Tom Watchman on the list yet. Still wouldn't be counting out Tom Watchman at the very end here to maybe land a blow as well from the young Irishman. I think it was his 21st birthday this week. Anyway, we've got a blow that could be landed here from Gabriel and It Girl, although goes wide here and has just caught a fence as well. Just gives it a little bit more of a scramble through the triple combination. Fraction unsettled there, much better at the next. Good space to get the roll back here. Okay, come again, maybe just a little confusion coming to the last. 2 fences there alongside, gets locked on, and there we go. So it is going to be 12 plus time there for Gabriel de Manos Machado and It Girl this time. Into the final 5. Bliss Here's now. Bliss, the US rider with Bridgeside Farms, Goodbye, well established. 5-star horse for her. Bliss getting back into competitive action with Goodbye. Oh, and just got a little close in the end, just by the smallest margin there. Just trying to get the inside shot. Lost the space in the end for them. On the 12 at the moment for Bliss. So still Erin Ballard, Nina Malave, Eugenio Garza and Tom Watchman to come. Eugenio going to be on his big championship Grand Prix ride, so I'll be interested to see whether he really goes chasing Richie Vogel or not. Deciding to retire there for Bliss. Here's and Goodbye. Similarly, Erin Ballard going to be on her. I would take a shot, potential Grand Prix horse, but again, depending on which way she goes with them this week. Yeah, this is, I think, going to be her Grand Prix ride, so it'll be interesting to see what they do here. But again, might be a good workout for them. Nicely done so far. Just moving up to the mode-on fence now from here. Time-wise, a little bit back. Just leans on that first part anyway, so that becomes, with the second one dropping, academic. So a little bit more light shines on Richie Vogel as our leader. Might just hang on, we'll see, but he's still got Nina Malave. So Eugenio Garza's on his Grand Prix ride, so I'm not sure what the plan will be there. And Tom Watchman, I think we'll give it a really good shot with Hawaii. So 8 there, 66.99 for Erin Ballard and De Fleur, the third, Z Santa Rosa. Nina Malave, the world number 8 for France, the Rain family's destined to be. Gelding by Dumont de Semi for the 25-year-old that's already been a Grand Prix winner here in Wellington before now as well. Came superbly through the U25 series, but then has really stepped up last year. A big success, the Rolex Series Grand Prix in Brussels. Nina, nice tidy roll back here. That's good, that's efficient. Saves a bit of time. Not to be through there, unfortunately, though. It was going to be a little bit back on the clock from the leader. Was certainly still looking at a potential top 10 finish, though. Gives it, sensibly gives a little bit more wide space back to the plank. So again, a little more light, as I say. The spotlight drops on Richie Vogel as the leader. It's 8 at 68.75 for Nina Malave. Destined to be. Eugenio Garza now, the El Milagro and Contago. Super jumping combination have been placed in some of the biggest Grand Prix around the world. Spruce, Arkin, championship combination together. And again, whether he's aiming at the Grand Prix or not sure. Maybe just aiming at these classes this week, and then we'll step it up more from here. We'll see. Coming home nicely so far through the triple combination. Like I say, easy jumping round for them. And should be for this pair. Yeah, just brings it home nicely. Like I thought, just not going to go flat to the boards chasing Richie Vogel today. They've got other days to go. They'll go top 10 into 7th. Nice round at 73.44 for Eugenio Garza and Contago. Leaves us one left to come into this $62,500 Bainbridge 5-star, which is just walking down. Tom Watchman last to go for Ireland. Coolmore Showjumping's Hawaii. 10-year-old mare by Comme Il Faut. So they have got the pace, and Tom could certainly give this a shot. Richie Vogel's time, 63 seconds. Just waits into this triple combination. Anchors down in there. Unfortunately, that's going to drop, so it's going to go to Richie Vogel. Coming home on the 4 for Tom. And it there finishes on the 4, 63.63. Actually, it was his 21st birthday, I think, this week as well. So happy birthday, Tom. They will finish on 4 and go into 14th place for Tom Watchman, our last to go in this Bainbridge Speed this morning. Richie Vogel will be the winner. The European champion is following on from that Grand Prix run and looking forward to tomorrow night, no doubt. Richie will be the winner with Cardentos. Second place going to Eduardo de Menezes and H5 Contador VDM. Rennie Dittmer in third with Cody 139. Ben Mayer will finish top 4 with Maddox. Top 5 for Christian Kukuk and Vicky Van Gogh. Niall Nassar and Kristin Vender Bosran Z. Will make up our top 6 here. 7th place going to Eugenio Garza. A nice round there with Contago. Time faults for that of Thomas Joffre in Kingston into 8th. 9th for Natalie Dean on 2 time as well with a Kota M. And top 10 again. Richie Vogel finishes top 10. But Richie, winner of our class here this morning on a beautiful day here in Florida, here in Wellington International. Looking forward to the excitement of tomorrow's Modon Grand Prix, where Richie defends his title. Could he do the same as Ken Farrington, winning the first 2 5-star Grand Prix of the season, which is exactly what the US rider Kent did last year. There's every chance of that as well. And of course, tonight, like I say, we'll bring you Dressage 2 from the World Cup, featuring the world superstar Isabel Werth as well from Germany, who'll be part of that as she does battle here on US soil. Looking forward to that. But for now, Richard Vogel will be our winner with Cardentos for Germany. Back, Lisa.
Bringing back our top rider on the morning for the Bainbridge Company's Meter 55 star. Congratulations to Germany's Richard Vogel. Finishes 10th as our fastest four-faulter. In fact, with the fastest time over the track aboard Comet 306. But the win on the penalty-free effort at 63 flat with Cardentos for Germany's Richard Vogel to take the top call in today's 5-star Meter 50 presented by the Bainbridge Companies. Richard and Jennifer Schechter here presenting to our winner on behalf of the Bainbridge Companies. Richard Vogel with Cardentos at 63.00, the best in a field of 45. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise if you are able and remove cover for the national anthem of Germany in honor of today's Bainbridge Company's 5-star Meter 50 winner, Richard Vogel. Congratulations again to Germany's Richard Vogel, the top call in a field of 45 on a winning time of 63.00 with the Cardentos in today's Bainbridge Company's 5-star meter 50. The lap of honor for the German rider takes the top call this morning with our two fastest times over the track at 63 flat for the win and 61.90 to finish in 10th as our fastest four-faulter. Congratulations to Germany's Richard Vogel with Cardentos, your winning combination for the Bainbridge Company's 5-star meter 50 this morning. Thank you to Richard and Jennifer Schechter for being on hand for the presentation on behalf of the Bainbridge Companies. And once again, we congratulate Richard Vogel, your winner for today's 5-star competition.